Should you buy or should you rent a house? Before you even watch this video, I want you to leave a comment down below on your opinion. So I was just browsing across Reddit today, as I do in a lot of my free time, and I was on some of the financial pages and I came across this article right here. Now, as you can see, this article right here is titled 45% of millennials say that living costs hold them back from buying homes. My honest first reaction to this is, holy cow, 45% of the people, so nearly half of Generation X is thinking that buying a house is not worth it for them because living costs are too high. As one of the great YouTubers, Graham Stephan, would say, what are they doing with their life? They must be spending a ton of money on avocado toast. And in this case, I'm definitely going to have to agree with that statement. The way that I am saving my money right now after just graduating college and getting a job, I'm going to be able to afford a down payment on a home within a year or two. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, maybe he locked down a really good job where he is able to save because he is paid an excessive amount of money. And I want to counter that and say that I've talked to several of my friends who got jobs for the first time, and by no means am I getting the maximum amount of money that you can get when you graduate college. Now, in no way is this me complaining about my compensation, but rather giving myself a little bit of a pat on the back because I feel like I can balance my money and handle my expenses a little bit better than most people that are my age. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I really set aside how much money I've wanted to save. I really stick true to my budget. I make sure that I don't exceed payments, and I also don't go out as much as some of my friends. I don't go out, say, every weekend, or I don't go out 3 nights a week. I really toned back on that so I could hone in my spending, and that really has shown in the past couple of months. Now, getting back on track here, so 45% of millennials believe that living costs are too high, they can't afford a house. 38% of Generation X believes the same thing, and if you look at the baby boomers, then 31% of their population believes that buying a house is not worth it. One thing that really stuck out to me is that millennials, more than any other generation, feel like it's okay to dip into their retirement savings in order to fund their home buying needs. Now, don't even get me started on dipping into your retirements early. That is one of the worst things that you could possibly do to manage your own finances. So if you actually go to take out money from your 401k plan, you are going to hit huge fees, early payment fees that you're going to get from your 401k, and it's just going to help diminish that account. I mean, they're killer fees if you look into them. If that's something you're considering and you think you might have to dip into your savings account, I would strongly urge you against it. I would say you would be better off looking into a down payment assistant program, maybe a special low down payment loan program, or something like looking at homes that are more affordable for your price range. Don't get such an expensive home if you can't afford it. There's no need. Couple really cool important facts to note from this article is that the median home cost was $47,200 in 1980. Fast forward to the year 2000 and it was $119,600. Now, fast forward even further to July of 2019, the median home value is $312,800. And though a lot of this can be attributed to a booming economy and inflation, it still is a significant jump from year to year. Another thing to note is that real wages, so the money you take home after inflation, has been nearly stagnant for the past 4 years. So that's not great, while we've had such big expenses just continue to climb. So that would be things such as schooling, where tuition costs anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 before scholarships in 1998 to 1999. And then as of 2018 to 2019, the estimates jumped up to $21,370. I think this higher education debt is actually what's attributing that percentage jump from all the other generations to the millennial generation in their comfort level when purchasing a home, because they have all these overarching payments they need to make on things like student loans. Now, all this information is great to have, but it's also a little bit scary knowing that the only economy we've seen for such a long period of time has just been green and it's been booming. So when the economy turns all of a sudden, what's going to happen to all these people who are struggling now when everything is going smoothly? Now, a disgusting statistics from this also came out that 28% of Americans lack any emergency savings. 28%. That is absurd. I can't even imagine going to bed not knowing that I would be safe if something happened to my job, or knowing that I could make payments come down to an emergency. That's literally what it's there for, and I don't get how people can sleep at night comfortably knowing that if something were to happen, they might not make it financially. And I can already see you guys typing, oh, this isn't some people's choice, they're supporting others and all this other stuff. But really, 28%, come on, that's such a high statistic. Now, barring all this information surfaced from this article and using a lot of different information that I looked up online, I have a clear-cut goal for what I want to do for the future when I'm gonna buy a home. What I personally want to do is buy a duplex, and I want to buy a duplex for the following reason. I would be able to live in half of the duplex while having the other half nearly pay for the entire mortgage. That is amazing. It would basically be like I was living in there for free and somebody else was taking care of my expenses. Let me know if you guys buy, own, rent, live in a duplex. I'd be super interested to see how many of the people watching this video actually do. Now, a huge reason why I'm considering buying a home so quickly is because my student loans have already been paid off. So this is a huge weight off of my shoulder, and that's a huge weight holding people back, as I discussed from the article, and why someone might not want to invest in buying a house. So if you're considering buying a home, I would recommend sitting down, planning it all out, write down all your expenses, see what you can cut back on, look at your savings, and really determine and be honest with how much you can afford in a house. You don't want to lock yourself in a mortgage that's way over your head that you can't keep up with payments, and you definitely don't want to have to dip into your savings. For me personally, I set out a goal and I'm following this path, and if I follow it for maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I'll be able to afford exactly what I want to get. I've looked in the areas that I want to buy a duplex, seen what they've been going for, looked at some fixer-uppers too, and just know the general economy around the housing. So if anything does happen to the housing market, say it starts to collapse, that would actually be good for me in the short term because I wouldn't have bought a house yet, and then I could buy it when the market is down. But regardless, I know that the rent prices around the area that I'm in will not drop too much, so I'm pretty confident that even if I buy at the worst time to buy in the market, I'm still gonna do well. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like. Let me know what you think about the article. Do you agree with me? Would you buy a house or a duplex? Let me know what you're thinking at this point in time. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.